Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, playing the games you want to see, playing the games you don't want to see, and everything in between. All these games were released in the beginning of November 1982.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing's the matter. Nothing at all.
And we were last playing on the extremely popular Apple II, and it was Go, also for the Atari home computer. Let's see what our next release is. Our next game takes us to the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Gobbler. Gobbler! I think we've seen this one before, at least the name. All we have is a few screenshots for this Gobbler. Let's pop in and play Gobbler. This is not to be confused with Gobbler for the Apple II, or Gobbler for the TRS-80, or Gobbler on the Atari home computer. This is a completely different Gobbler, and this also shouldn't be confused with Super Gobbler or Ghost Gobbler. So, how do we play this? This is by Saturn Soft. I think it's the very first game we've seen by Saturn Soft. When your pack Gobbler eats this yellow ghost, you gain 1 point. When you eat a green ghost, you gain 10 points, and the attacking monsters turn gray. When the red, when your Gobbler eats a gray monster, you gain something. So it tells us what it is. Black monster eats you, and we use the cursor keys to control. Okay, so it's just 5, 6, 7, and 8. We've seen this before. Ready? Any key to play? And we're in. There it is. Gobbler. Whoa. If you thought the flickering on Pac-Man on the Atari VCS was bad, I think this might take the cake. And remind you that I'm not able to play this with a joystick. I am playing this on the spongy ZX Spectrum keyboard. Oh man. Yeah, and it also, I feel so stilted. I feel like I'm barely able to function as Pac-Man. It is working. I can understand myself as Pac-Man, but I mean, look at the ghosts. The flicker is so bad. And they're doing the same thing we saw also on the Commodore VIC-20. Putting white on yellow is just a terrible design choice. Why would they do that? Yes, definitely tile-based. This is our 122nd game we've played for the ZX Spectrum. Already. That's how many games we've seen already for this little micro. And this is the 125th game that is a Pac-Man variant, which means there's 125 games that look like Pac-Man and play like Pac-Man, but they have no correlation to Namco whatsoever. This is yet another one. Yikes. Man, so right now, some of the other games you could play that are bad right now on the on all home computers, because this is bad. This is definitely a bad game for all the games you could play up to this point. But there's worse that's out there. There's Applebug. Check out Applebug on the Commodore VIC-20. That's worse than this. Gobbler for the Atari home computer. I would say that's worse than this. Micro Maze is also worse than this. And the cream of the crop, the worst Pac-Man of all the Pac-Mans still stands. The Pac-Man Trail is the worst game we've seen so far. That's a Pac-Man variant. Hey, we got the new high score. Do we want to play again? No. No, we do not. So of all the games you can play across all home computers right now, it's way down there, almost in the broken range. You can barely distinguish anything from, yes, it is definitely the bottom 10, maybe even the bottom 5 Pac-Man, James, for all the games we played up to this time. So no, not the worst ever. It's not the worst ever, Mark. If you're just now tuning in, we play a lot of video games, since the beginning of time, but it's very bad. I'm going to go 1 star for all the games you could play. Manly's even saying 2. How generous. 2.5? Yeah, that's true. You would have to play it of all the games you could see up to this point. But I mean, look at the box. That is the box for Saturn Soft. Doesn't that just scream that you're getting something that is just terrible? So there you go. That's Gobbler for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Let's see what our next game is. We're still going to hang out in Europe, and this is the Philips VideoPack G7000. The home console has been around since 1977, and the release of The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. We've already seen this, actually, on the Odyssey 2 in August of 1982. Here's the box for The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. I think this is the manual cover for the Philips VideoPack. And I'm going to tell you this, probably the same thing I told you when we played this on the Magnavox Odyssey 2 in North America. It's not the best release we could see for all the games up to this point. The manual that I've got for this one is just a homebrew. Someone typed this up, very generous of them. It's meant to be an authentic, computerized model of the real investment world. The opportunities for investment in the game represent the thousands of alternatives available in various exchanges. So we are actually doing a stock exchange game. This is one of those series of of games that has been done by Philips and Magnavox that's up there with like Quest for the Rings. It's a combination board game / video game, kind of an homage to the original Magnavox Odyssey. This one's the last one in the series that they've done, and it is just bad. We're going to pop it and play The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt, the beginning of November 1982. This one is the 38th game we've seen on the Philips Video Pack G7000. And it's asking us, in French, what game we're going to be playing. So we actually push the number on our, this is the digital keypad, but you have a membrane keyboard for your Philips Video Pack. And when you begin this game, you cannot play this unless you have the booklet with all the stocks and the board to play as well. This is only a 2-player game, which is very strange considering the other titles in this series have been several players. Like the Quest for the Rings, you got 5 players to play that one. And this one, nope, just you and a friend doing the stock exchange. This is pretty much the whole game. There is a few different views, but you're essentially supposed to be investing in stocks. You're using the keyboard quite a bit. This is the 9th stock exchange video game we've seen up to this point, but you're better off with some other games if you're really clamoring for a stock exchange video game right now in November 1982. You'd be better off playing Computer Stocks and Bonds or Millionaire if you really want to play something like that. This really should be a computer video game, not for a console. I don't know why they put this on the console. It is just not a very good game. Even if you were into stocks, there's better games you could play besides this one. So of all the games you could play across all home consoles right now, The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt is a drag. I'm going to way low of all the games you could play up to this point. Oh yeah, White Collar Game. I love that one. I don't know about that, Brian. I don't know if it's worse than that, Flicker. But when you think of all the games across all home consoles all over the world, I'm saying it's bad. 1.5 stars for The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. Same thing we gave it on the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Yeah, Brad's saying 1. I could go even lower and say 1 star too. All right, after that release, what's next? We're back on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Our next release is called The Great Western. The Great Western in the United Kingdom on the ZX Spectrum? Okay. So this one, I just have a few ads for it. There wasn't a box I could muster up. This is by Newsoft Products. It's the 4th game we've seen by this company, and this one is the 123rd game that we played on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is also available for the ZX81, but I don't think we're going to play that version, just this one. It has a little description down there. It's only £4.95. Good deal. Can you survive the challenge of guiding a wagon train across North America on the Oregon Trail? Oregon Trail? What the hell? What are they talking about, Oregon Trail? There's no such thing as Oregon Trail right now. That game doesn't exist on the Apple II until 1985. It says it contains fast-moving games, but wait, the Great Western is supposed to be we're going across the Oregon Trail? And here it is again, another ad. Wagons roll across America through mountains and forests, across plains. What? It says authentic detail, superb graphics. A complex role-playing adventure is what it describes here. And there's the example of the screenshot. Yes, believe that or not, right? All right, yeah, let's just pop in and play The Great Western. I can't believe it. Newsoft Products in the beginning of November 1982. That was a test of the video game broadcast system. That was only a test. That's really how the game loads. And then you have to go through 3 different loading scenes. 3 different. So we're not going to do that. We're actually going to load our state and go right into the game. And also avoid the incessant beeping. Gosh, that was crazy how bad that was. Welcome to the Great Western Adventure. Hit any key. Okay, can everyone just bask into this and just understand the complexity of this? The original Oregon Trail wasn't a video game. It was a teletype game that printed out on paper from 1971. Since that time, around 1979, here on the show, we have seen the first iteration. It was turned into a video game. It was part of the Elementary Volume 6 collection on the Apple II around 1979, and it was just the game called Oregon. That's all that is possible to play. But look at this. This is the graphic that's very similar to the wagon view from the 1985 Oregon Trail, but that doesn't exist right now. So how are we seeing this? What is going on? Did someone in the United Kingdom play Oregon or actually was there in one of the classrooms in North America, in Minnesota, playing Oregon Trail or Oregon on the Elementary Volume 6. I have no idea how how is someone getting the idea in the United Kingdom to play Oregon Trail, and they even have the graphic of the wagon at the top. Yes, right? It's a ripoff, but it makes no sense how this could happen, because if you play the Oregon version on Elementary Volume 6, this graphic of the little wagon train at the top, it's not there. I can't comprehend this. So someone at Newsoft, you really need to contact me to explain this craziness. This is otherworldly. Yes, right? If Apple computers were rare in the United Kingdom, how did they have and the idea of traveling west in North America, why would you make a game for the United Kingdom? I have no idea. But anyway, let's pretend all that aside and just remember that Oregon Trail doesn't really exist. This is pre-Oregon Trail. All right, let's play the game. We got 100 souls, we got food, we got ammunition, water, trade goods. What do you want to do now? I want to see what hunting's like. What is hunting? 5, 8, and fire. Oh my gosh, look at this. Here's hunting. It's just moving an asterisk around on the screen and shooting. So it's a really simple mini game. And in fact, we've seen a few of these mini games whenever we typed in some of the games on the ZX Spectrum. Really, really simple. I kind of just want to keep missing the... Oh, maybe it was college professors that told... How did Newsoft know to make the game, though? Because it's not a one-to-one Oregon Trail. All we looked at was one screen. We play 3 mini games, and we don't really travel the trail. So there isn't the feeling of exploration. Even though the ad said, role playing, there is no element to that. All it is 3 small games. So you notice we have the options here. It's just telling us what to do now. We hunt. We prospect, which means we don't do that in the real Oregon Trail either. But that's prospecting for gold. Or you can go to a trading post, and then you trade and make decisions at the trading post, but then you come right back to the screen. So there's actually no moving out west. It is very, very limited. This is the entire game. If we, like for example, go to the trading post, it says how much money we have, how much food we have, and we purchase and make decisions seeing how well we'll do. Like if we want to do pounds of food, we have $100. How many pounds of food? Let's do 10 pounds of food. How much water do we want? We have no money. We spent all. We want no water. How much ammunition? None, because we spent all our money. And then that's it. That's all you do for making decisions. That's as far as we go. That's at the entire game. Well, I guess unless you want to see prospect, you use the cursor keys, and you have to be aware of hard rocks. But you see, you're just finding where the gold is. Where's the gold? I'm playing as an asterisk again, and we're essentially walking around a maze trying to find where the gold is. But the way that this is presented, it sounds like I'm... There we go. 3, 2... Let's go back this way. There it is. Yeah, we struck gold. And you just keep doing that, trying to get more gold, and you get more money that way. But that's it. The Great Western on the ZX Spectrum is very, very simple. It's similar to some of the games we saw that were type-in games from Usborne Publishing. It's just very, very simple mini-games. And there's no traveling out west. There's no role-playing elements. Sorry to disappoint you. And it's really not like Oregon Trail, but it's the closest thing as an Oregon Trail variant that I'll still give it to it because it has that picture at the top. It's amazing. That's it, Marshall. Hot and cold gold search for it. That's what it is. So very bizarre release of all the games you could ever play. It's still bad. I would still say of all the games you could play across all home computers, this is bad because there's not a sense of adventure. It's just making a few decisions like a managerial simulator, but it's very, very limited, very simple. I'll still say 2 stars for all the games you could play across all home computers. I'm just amazed this exists right now in November 1982. Paul's going half star for broken. There we go. And I see some 3 stars for being okay. No, it doesn't deliver for all the games you could play across all home computers. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. Oh, by the way, before we go to the next game, this kind of game, there's only a few games that can be close to or relate to this. Besides the Oregon game on Elementary Volume 6, there's a game called Desert on MS-DOS that is kind of similar to this. You're making decisions in the desert, trying to survive in the wilderness. And then we had another game called Trail West on the Commodore 64 that we played. That game is better. So if you want to see a better version of this right now, Trail West is what you want to do. All right, so let's see. Our next game is taking us to the arcade, and let's play Hard Hat. I am not familiar with Hard Hat. We're going to be checking it out together. Here's the advertisement flyer for Hard Hat. So this one's by Exidy. Yes, Exidy's back. The 23rd game that we've seen by Exidy. Big fan of them. Haven't seen them for a while. And this one is the 476th game that we played in the arcade. Hard Hat. What does it say at the top there? The first educational coin-op game? Educational? We don't go to the arcade to do anything educational. It says it's a unique logic game. Interesting. Yeah, so this has a lot going for it. There's the arcade cabinet for Hard Hat. A terrible picture of it. Same thing with the control panel. This one is not as prominent as all the other classic arcade games, Golden Age arcade games. This one's further at the bottom of the barrel, but it's just harder to come by. All we need to know for controls is a 4-way joystick. That's it. It's just like Pac-Man. Very simple. All you got to do is move. There's no buttons here. There's the arcade marquee. Yes, it is not that one, Marshall. We don't see that one yet. That one is seminal, very seminal. All right, so besides the artwork, we're going to be playing as the construction worker. There's the example of the screenshot. Let's go to the arcade and play Hard Hat. This is Exidy in the arcade at the beginning of November 1982. Hard Hat is a unique logic game. It has a puzzle that you're supposed to solve. It was designed and programmed for Exidy by Larry W. Hutcherson Sr. and released in 1982. It's touted as the first educational coin-op game where you play a busy carpenter, that guy, who's constantly being chased by hammers and whirlwinds throughout a grid of scaffolding while manipulating letters to spell Exidy or Hard Hat. The controls are just the 4-way joystick, and you alternate turns if you play a 2-player game. So I am not really spouting this as educational video game. It is not. It's a puzzle video game, which is very rare in the arcade, but we'll see if you can pinpoint and see what this is like. It's very unique. All right, let's put a coin in and play. I'm doing a 1-player game, and let's go. So as you walk around the maze as the construction worker, you are tearing down these little grids or girders. Every time you tear down the girders, it's allowing you to walk through. So in a sense, all we have is a control to move around, and it's kind of like Pac-Man. But the gimmick is you're supposed to be filling in the letters. Right now we have Exidy to spell. The way we spell Exidy is we have to clear the girders away to reveal more of the screen. So for example, down at the very bottom of the screen, I have 2 girders left. When I remove the last girder, it's going to scroll the screen up. And so now we can see, oh, there's the letter E. So now we got to get the letter E down to where the E in Exidy is. And you can see I can push it and move it around if I want to. I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to try to remove all of the girders at the bottom so I can clear the screen and move it up. But I have to avoid all the hammers. There's not a power-up because there's no button to hit. There's also nothing else I can use to give myself like temporary invincibility or anything like that. Oh man, but the hammers seem to be smart. So I'm removing the girder here because I'm trying to get the E. Oh, they got me. The E in Exidy to travel down. All right, there we go. And there it is. So now you can see the E move down. But it didn't really help me because it's added a few walls that I have to avoid. So now I got to make my way around here. But it did show us where the X is. So now I can go take the E. I'm going to move the E over there. Make my way over on this side. Actually, I should have gone one more time. Let's see if I can avoid the hammers. Come on. He's just hovering around that spot. There we go. Now we got him at the top, so now I can go over here. I can take the E, bring it down. Oh, no, I can't bring it down. What? The tornado moved the E. I didn't know it could do that. All right, we'll move it up here then. There it is. And then we can slide. Oh, we can't slide it over. Uh-oh. I can't get the E over. Does that mean I have to move the whole thing? Let's try it. Move the whole Oh, it just traveled all the way to the other side. So the E's way over there now. I don't think I can get it out, but I can move the screen up. So you can see I'm taking away the girders to manipulate the entire maze or screen. Yeah, I mean, even when you stand still, isn't the character really nice? I like his little jaunty animation too. Nope. The amount of color, though, to the character, seems very simplistic for a game in the arcade. I could see this easily being sent over to a home computer, like the Atari 800, or the Apple II. So there we go. We got one letter, the E in Exidy's there. Now let's see if we can remove... I can see the I's over here. I'm going to get the I out of the way so I can remove the girder there. Oh, where'd the E go? Oh, it popped to the other side. All right, so let's see if we can travel over that side. So really, really cool idea. Fresh idea because we don't really see puzzle-style games in the arcade. And it's fairly easy enough to avoid all the enemies, but now you just have to work out how to get all the letters in the right spot. But now we've kind of made ourselves in a hole because we cannot get the E around unless we actually wrap it around to the other side of the screen. It has to be on the left side. We cannot slide it across to the other end. That's a good point. I just saw what you said. Yeah, James, this does feel like that way too. Oh, we can go. How do we do... Oh, the start button, okay. Put in our high score. The Hard Hat Hall of Fame. I'm at the bottom of the Hall of Fame. I'll take it, why not? All right, let's put another coin in and go in again. So you can kind of see what Exidy was going for, marketing it as an educational coin-op game. It's really not, though. This is not educational. You do have to think. Going to the arcade and thinking really wasn't a thing right now. All right, let's reveal some of the letters. You can see the first screen has nothing. Let's bring it down and see what's up. There's the E at the top. Let's get the E over. Nice and easy. There we go. And let's bring the screen up to the top again. I'm just going to remove a few of these, and then I should be able to wipe out the bottom if this hammer it doesn't get in my way. And then scroll it up. There it is. Nice. Now we can get the E to come down. Oh, I thought so. I got to go all the way around. Work my way all the way this way. Okay, they're being pretty kind. So there you go. We got the E. First step looking good. The X, though, good gosh, look at that. It's surrounded by lots of barriers. These walls you can't pass by. You can only move the girders to get yourself on that to the other side. All right, so let's try sliding us up again. I'm just making my way avoiding the hammers because that's all you can do. There's no power up to... All right, so let's take the X, and we actually can't travel the X over, but we can do the I think. No, we can't even do that. I have to move the D out of the way. The X, if I move down, we won't be able to push over into the other side. Really interesting idea. It's kind of like we're playing a block-pushing puzzle game before Sokoban or the other more classic block-pushing puzzle games. But this one's more complicated because it's adding in these barriers that you have to think about dodging. And look at all these hammers. They're all over the place. Yeah, I wouldn't even call that a sliding tile. Well, I guess sliding tile puzzle is one thing. You know, the ones that you actually have to slide to form a picture. We have played games like that. Let's go here. There was that one in the arcade. Oh, you can use the letters to crush the enemies. If only I'd known. Are they going to pinch me in? I can't believe I made it out of that. All right, so the X still, I won't be able to slide over. Here we go. Let's try it on this side. Okay, we can take care of him. Nice. All right, so there we go. There's a chance we could make it. We have to be able to get the whole thing to slide down. So let's take out these two girders. And then we got the D up there. So you're going to have to manipulate where the letters are and where they go. Once the E is in place, then it makes a barrier, so I can't go past the E. And there's no way to break through the walls. So as far as an experience in the arcade, this should not be in the arcade. Exidy does try to do things experimental. This is very experimental. This should have been something on a home computer that you would play to figure out and have fun. In the arcade, though, I mean, look at this. Look how long I'm able to stay on the screen. If you're good enough at dodging, this would not be a moneymaker in the arcade. You'd be able to keep playing for a long time. There is no evil auto. There's no one coming for me to kill me. I can sit here a sec if I don't have hammers nearby and just contemplate what I'm going to do. that is a terrible way to make money on an arcade game. We do have a little bit of AI that the hammers are following me around, so I can't just sit in one place, but you still are able to dodge them fairly easily. So I'm at odds with this one. This game it's a really fun game, a really cool idea. I just don't think this is a very good arcade game. It needs to be, it honestly feels like it's something I'd play later on the ZX Spectrum. The way that there's one color for your character that's walking around. Let's see if we can get the X to come down one side. There we go. And then we got so many hammers. If I can push this X into the other hammers, then we should be okay. I'll just lower this guy down here, and then we can just push across. There it is. Nice, got the X there. There, you see how it works. All right, we got the I down at the bottom. Let's see if we can push the I up. Yeah, that's it. So because of what I just did, it's scrambled everything up, but now I have a Y and a D, so I should be able to spell the letter out, and this should do it. If I can get this in the right spot, I have to probably go all the way around the other side. I like this. This is fun. It just doesn't fit the arcade experience. All right, here we go. Nice and easy. Just do a push right there. I can just move the Y all the way across. Yeah, kill all those hammers. Looking good. And then I just got to be able to get the Y up to the top, which that one's going to be a little bit trickier because let's try just pushing off the side. There we go. And then we'll slide the screen over and see if we can spell Exidy. If you do end up spelling an entire word, then it does transition to another screen. So you can play and then spell another larger word. I think hard hat is next after you spell Exidy. Successfully. All right, there's our Y. I don't know if we can get it over there. Yeah, this may not have made any money in the arcade. We put in 2 quarters to play this, and we're still playing on 2 quarters. And I can go for a long time if I'm getting a feel of how the enemies are. And I only play tested this twice. So having played the game 2 times, I have an idea of how the game works, and the operators would not have made money with this. Oh, where'd my Y go? Came off the side. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There's my Y. It's hiding down there. Okay, so we got it. Now we move this one down. Ready, and... Did everyone hear that one? They had a small little ditty, though. Ditty from, was that Looney Tunes? Dun, 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 dun. I'm amazed that this exists in this fashion. So this one is kind of like a block pushing physics puzzle. Very, very rare. Now you can see at the second level we're getting harder hammers that move us around, but it is still getting its roots from the arcade top-down maze-style video game. But it's just very, very different. You can't compare this to Pac-Man or anything else that's out there. It's unique, it's different, and it's fun, but it should be in the arcade. And it's definitely not educational. So there you go, a taste of Hard Hat. I'd love to see from the chat what you think of Hard Hat. I didn't see any of this in the wild. I don't know of anybody that has this in the wild because it probably made no profit. So of all the games you could play across all arcade systems right now in 1982, this is actually fun. And from my knowledge, this has not been ported anywhere. So this is all the place you could play it right now. It's zippity-doo-dah. That is, I see it from the chat. So here we go, 3.5 stars from Manly. Yeah, 3 and 3.5. I'm around the same boat too. I don't really want to call it average for all the games you could play across the arcades, but I don't want to push it up to say like it's 4 stars of all the games so far. But 3.5, that sits really nice for all the games across all arcade right now. Yes, right? Yeah, don't buy this chiptune if you're an operator manual. If I went back in time to tell them, this is a terrible purchase. All right, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. We've run out of quarters here in the arcade. We got so many more games to play, and we got lots of games that you can request for me if there's games we have missed since the beginning of time. Since we hit 1982, I started to comprehensively access more databases to make sure no game was left behind. But in 1981 and everything before that in the 70s, I was just highlighting on, the big games, the milestone video games and so forth, to capture the best essence of the video game era. Well, now the people are tuning in and telling me, you missed this game, you missed this game. Please bring up the games that mean something, not just some small a Pong variant like on a console or so forth. Bring up the games that we really want to showcase that we have missed from the past before we can move forward to 1983. But that's going to be a ways from now. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, it's time to type in and play Frogger, your favorite mascot on the ZX Spectrum goes skiing, and invest in your family's inheritance or risk it all on a round of blackjack. Those are all video game adventures in November 1982. That's it for today, and like I always say, I just need 2 more quarters. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.